I gave Luca Persona, and he turns me into a fursuit. So
I'm sorry. That's my ignorance playing in.
war is
I
hell.
felt like I felt like I had to attack back. I had to strike back harder.
Cyber war is hell. Oh. So
Yeah, so Venezuela, what's going on?
yeah. Oh, war is hell. Yeah.
Navy operative, what's going on? Comedian said deets.
But the crazy thing is, I don't hear much about like. I mean, like as you know, you. I'd say that you are more up to date on the news, but I obviously know like you are not considered what like people call a news watcher. You get what your Twitter little Twitter feeds or whatever.
It's basically yeah, it's just Twitter feed.
So like I think you're a little more up to date than me. I hear it from like some Navy people talk about it or like social media a little bit,
Mhm.
but like I think I will say out of most of the thing, obviously you have like a diehard, you know, um, people on one side that are supporting everything and very supportive. But I will say like I think a lot of those things like the Venezuela thing, generally, I think most people on both sides are like, I don't know, like maybe maybe we should stop doing these things. But we have a short memory when it comes to the U.S. overthrowing governments.
Overthrowing governments for oil. It's never been done before.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
having a argument. Well, not an argument. It was more of a disagreement because we don't see eye to eye on these things with my roommate
Yeah.
because he's more on the right, and like we were we are debating that. He was like, yeah, it's a good thing, you know. He's like, it's a good thing, you know. We did a good thing. The U.S. did a good thing, right? Like that was like
Mhm.
the entire argument. I was like, well, there's videos of like Trump and also like Trump specifically, and also different people saying like, oh yeah, we're taking their oil out of there, taking barrels and barrels of oil out of there. And he was like, well, we
Mhm.
still did a good thing. I was like, okay, you can say like many things can be true. You can say maybe this guy wasn't the greatest for the country. Also, you can say maybe we're taking their oil and implementing a puppet government. Right? There's like many things can be
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Two things can be true at once. But I don't know. Seems like a I don't know. It does seem weird. I don't know why we got started in Venezuela in the first place. That seemed kind of weird. Where we were just like randomly bombing their boats, and then it was like, oh, we just kidnapped their president. Very cool.
Yeah,
And
because like
another crazy part about that operation is that they're just like freely talking about Delta Force now.
I mean,
Delta Force was kind of like
I think
what? Good.
I think Delta yeah, like I think Delta Team 6 definitely I think those are also like widely I mean there's a Delta Force game. There's so many shows and movies like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think that I mean they still are like the secret like operative team or whatever, but I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if 10 years from now they're like, "Oh, actually we had to make a more secretive one because everyone knew about
No,
Delta."
no. I mean, they definitely did because like that's what happened with the SEALs. Nobody really knew about the SEALs unless you were in it prior to the killing of Osama bin Laden, and then it was like pretty mainstream after that. And then people kind of like people were like, "Oh, we have like special operations. What are the other special operators?" And then special operators talk about Delta Force being like, "Oh yeah, that's the go-to one. That's the special operator of the special operator." And now it's making me wonder, like, is there something beyond that? Is there like Delta Force Premium, the Delta
I
package?
I mean, I know there's like a CIA, I can't remember what the name called, but there's like a CIA paramilitary organization. Like they're like essentially the Delta of the CIA. Like
Yeah,
there's HRT for the FBI. So like there's definitely some hijinks going on around there, but like I think
yeah.
I mean because it was Delta that yeah did the whole Venezuela thing.
Mhm.
But like I guess the thought process there too is like when we're talking about like oh they went in basically the whole premise is like oh we did a good thing we got rid of this leader or I'm like okay by that logic if you're talking about we're purely doing it for generous humanitarian reasons Kim
Mhm.
Jong Un's been around
We
for a while
That's
like
true. There are other dictators doing terrible things as well.
yeah like I guess but I guess North Korea there's not enough humanity. It's not that they don't have any resources for us to exploit or not enough. It's that we're waiting to stop their humanitarian issues, I guess.
Yeah, I think there was a benefit for the United States going and collecting in whatever how many millions of barrels that they have. So there's that, and then it's kind of like a low risk operation in the sense of like it's not a country that has nuclear weapons, so it's like part of the reason we don't just like go over and invade other countries like North Korea is because there is a potential nuclear threat. it could escalate if they really wanted it to.
It's
I don't
crazy
know if
that
they have
like
that kind of capability, but it's been rumored. It's been
yeah,
talked about enough.
I don't know. It's just, but I mean, it was kind of this. Wasn't it the same thing with technically with like was it was it Iran or Iraq originally with like Bush?
So
Iraq, right?
it was Iraq for WMDs. WMDs were not there. They were never found. But then we continually drop missiles and destroy bases in Iran so that they don't get nuclear weapons.
That's yeah. I mean, like I just think I just think right now. I'm not saying you can say the administration, you can say the government as a whole, Congress, the media, whatever. I just think
Mhm.
everyone who's in control of the narrative right now, a very bad job of it. I think, like, objectively speaking, it's like whether whoever they want you to believe, like, you're doing a very bad job of like convincing anyone that you're in the right.
Yeah.
Um, like whether the left or the right. It's like if I think that's part of the thing is like why I think a lot of our I wonder what the stats are on like our generation and how many of us like watch mainstream media and like the news. I mean, it's probably like fractions of what previous generations are, or older generations. Like, I
Yeah,
think it's just
probably.
because if you just like if you just think about things for a little bit, fall into like not even like it's not even a long chain of like conspiracy. It's like you just go, A, we did this thing. B, because this.
Yeah.
C, this happened. You're like, hold on. None of that makes sense. Literally, like none of what you're saying makes sense. Like you can do that with every single thing that's happening in the world right now. I feel like, and
Yeah.
I don't think they even care to like try anymore with like the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, like with the whole reason that we went to Iraq in the first place, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's we went over to the Middle East in the first place. I know this for a fact because of 9/11. But then we never went to where the people that committed the 9/11 crimes were from. Like five of the people were from Saudi Arabia. We didn't really touch Saudi Arabia all that much. We decided to go to Afghanistan, and we said it was Bin Laden. Don't know if it was actually Bin Laden's plan. Don't think so. I could be wrong.
Really starting the. I mean, technically, I guess it'll be February's podcast, but we're really starting the new year and the podcast off on a really low risk note, huh? Really easing in with some light discussion.
Well, it's low risk. Hey, I mean everybody's kind of admitted it. Like, hey, we went to war for essentially no reason, or not for no reason. We went to war for reasons that were false. The reason that they gave the population was false.
I just think they
Looking
don't
for
care anymore though.
WMDs.
Like I said about the nerve,
Yeah,
I think like they tried for a little bit, like with the Epstein thing and like all that to like play the narrative and like, but then I think they realized they're like, oh, like no matter what we say, they're gonna figure it out anyways. So like we're just gonna
yeah,
spit in your face and like, what are you gonna do?
yeah.
So
Nothing, nothing. Continue to vote. Continue hoping that change will happen.
another very low key non-political take or non-political story. I haven't looked into this one as much. I saw the video. I think I don't know. Are you tracking the ice thing?
Is it the ice video? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Have you seen that? What's your initial assessment?"
Yeah, I was sitting down with my dad, who's a retired police officer, and he's just like, "Yeah, they weren't really in any danger. I don't know why they felt the need to shoot at them."
I mean, it was a lady like from what I saw, right? I didn't like I said, this is very layman's perspective. I didn't really read too much into it because I'm Gen Z and I don't actually look at the backstory. Um,
Yeah.
like from what I saw, it was literally just they were like, "Hey, like get out of the road," and then or like, "Hey, like get out of the car now." And then she was
Hmm.
as she was driving off, they just popped her, right? They like leaned in and
Yeah.
popped her as she was driving off, or like,
Yeah. So there was one guy that approached the driver's side vehicle that was kind of like trying to like shake the door, trying to get it open. Don't know exactly what his goal was. Lady, probably terrified for whatever reason, decided to like start driving away. As she was starting to drive away, there was a guy that was just like right on the driver's side, like right in front of the car, just kind of like standing there. And then as soon as she like starts pulling away, he steps to the side and just shoots her through like the front window. Like he wasn't in any like serious. I mean, argument could go both ways about like self defense, like vehicle used as a weapon to ram the officer. I mean, you can see that, but like It was a slow speed. It was a slow speed pursuit. It was literally just like she steps on the gas a little bit and then she gets shot for it.
I don't think it's exactly defensible. I mean, I will say, like, the Venezuela thing, I think most people generally be like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't have done that." But, like, there's obviously the staunch supporters, but I feel like the ICE thing, at
Mhm.
least, I haven't seen anyone like, thank God, at least, I guess, because my algorithm or the people I follow aren't like this. I haven't seen anyone, like, staunchly supporting this as a good thing, which is nice.
No, I've seen some like right wing grifters, and I've seen some I think just bots trying to defend it. They're just being like, yeah, she had a weapon, i.e., her vehicle. The vehicle drove forward in front of the officer. The weapon approached the officer, and the officer defended himself. It's like, but when you watch the video, that's not really what it looks like. It didn't look like his life was in danger. You kind of, as a true police officer uses their weapon as a last resort. There was probably other 100 different things that you could have done there. Stepped out of the way, got in your car, chased him down,
Well,
pulled him
because
over.
like you said, I think from the video, but I can't remember if you said different. It was from, like, the left side, right? Like, the driver's side window, not the front
Yeah,
windshield?
it was from the driver's side.
If you can point from the driver's side window, right, like,
Yeah.
you're probably out of the way of the car. Like, I don't think any car I know can turn at that angle.
Well, so it was kind of like so cars here,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be like reversed for you, but like dude was standing here, and the lady starts driving, and it looks like she's starting to turn, and the dude just kind of like moves over to the side, and as soon as he does like a step, pulls out the pistol and shoots her as he's like driving by.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, I saw her turning.
Yeah,
Like, in the video, I see
yeah,
her starting to turn, and I see him, like, step
yeah,
like, he's on the side of it. So, like,
yeah,
generally, most people, I think, would make the argument that you are no longer in danger at that point. They seem to be fleeing, but
yeah. They seem to be trying to get away. They're not causing harm to anybody. She didn't draw a weapon on anybody. Yeah, just bad look for Ice. But you know,
I mean, I don't think they've had a
that's what
great look in the past few months anyways. Like,
that's also what you get. Like, I don't know what their training's like, but it's not like police training. You don't go through like an academy. You don't go through like a psych test. You don't go through a lot of the stipulation that normal standard officers have to go through. It's very weird that they're always masked. Like they always have like some sort of like face covering. I think that's kind of strange. That's just
I
me.
I remember seeing, like, and it's funny because outside of the hardcore right wingers, right, like, I know 1 or 2 that are, like, are very staunch supporters of ICE of whatever they do, like, kind of, I don't too much to them. But, like, most modern people, are like, we started getting ads, Instagram, some people were saying Facebook, even, like, there was a
Oh,
Navy
like
message that came out. Yeah, it was like
sign on bonuses for
sign-on
Ice.
bonus
I
for
looked at
ICE.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
there was, like, transfer from any armed branch to, like, armed forces branch to ICE and get this sign, like, I was like, and everyone's first reaction was, like, laughter and just, like, grace. Like, it's, like, immediate, like,
Yeah.
I it is kinda crazy because, like, this is on me, right? Like, I'd say it's on me because 'cause I'm, like, ignorant about it, like, I don't look enough into it, I
Mhm,
guess I'm not keeping up with how, I guess, large of an issue this is or, like, how prevalent it is. But at
mhm,
the same time, I'm like, it's like that thing where I said, it's like, maybe it's better for my sanity that I don't know. Like, that this thing that, like, is so heavily generally disagreed with by most of the American populace
mhm.
is this prevalent and has this much authority in every
Yeah.
state and just doing whatever. Like,
Yeah, like, the idea is good. I think the idea of getting people out of the country that are here illegally is good, but how do you do that humanely? You don't. There's not really a good way of, like, displacing a people and their family outside of a place that they've potentially lived at for multiple years. It's not a great way of doing it.
I'd argue, on paper, easily the most agreed upon wrong way is to, like, walk into places while you're being filmed with masks on and start dragging people out
Yeah,
by force.
yeah, and then people saying, "This is what we voted for." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." I don't know. I don't know if that's what I don't know if that's what most people voted for.
I didn't see that on the ballot. They're like, "Hmm, masked people dragging people out of their cars and homes? Like, oh, I
Yeah, there's
guess,
like no due
yeah.
there's no due process either. There's like no like, hey, let me see your papers. It's always just like break down the door, kidnap them, throw them in the van. It's not like papers, please, where it's just like where's your go door to door, knock on doors, ask for papers.
I mean, it is kind
That's
of crazy
kind of
because
how that's what I envisioned. That's what I envisioned when they said like ICE was going to be going door to door. I just imagined it was going to be like
this
knock
place.
knock, who's there? Papers, please. Oh, no good. Okay, here's your court date. See ya.
Well, I think from I mean, it's also interesting because obviously I haven't heard a ton of it, not being in like the
Hmm.
legal field or even in law school yet. But like I'm hearing a
Hmm.
lot of people talk about the like that whole issue. People are like, yeah, it's interesting, we have this whole legal system, but now I think people realize there's a loophole. You just say they're not U.S. citizens, or
Hmm.
or we're not, or assuming they're not U.S. citizens, and therefore they don't get the legal system. I'm like,
Yeah.
interesting. I'm really glad that
Yeah.
my career is moot.
Yeah. I wonder how many people have been like falsely identified as someone that was a an illegal alien, but was actually a U.S. citizen. I wonder how many cases those are. There's
If
gonna
I
be
were to
there's
make
gonna be a couple hundred of those
if I were to
for
make a
sure.
really uneducated guess, it would be a really small percent, but still by number, probably way too many that to be acceptable to the normal person. You
Yeah.
looking it up, or
If I was that person, I would sue ICE. I would sue the United States government.
I mean, I'm I don't know. At points, I think is I'm keep dealing with that dichotomy of like I should keep up with world events, I guess, in a way, but like at the same time, it's like I don't want to keep up with any events that I have no control over. Because I think like
Hmm.
people say control, like me and you when we were talking to Connor the other night, we are like, oh, like when he was saying like, oh, I don't keep up with that. I don't really want to look into that. Because like, what am I gonna do
Hmm.
about it? And I'm like, yeah, you could say vote. People say vote. You could do that. Like call your like some things. It's like you feel like, all right, well, no matter who I vote for, they're both going to agree on the same thing. And my congressman is in on it with them. Like, what am I going to do? Write a letter to the guy that I want out of office? Like,
Yeah. I will be strictly voting on people based off of who they take money from now.
yeah, I mean,
If
that
if they
is.
take money from if they start taking money from certain lobbies or things that I disagree with, I will not be voting for them because I know where their interests are aligned. They can tell me the opposite, but then do wherever the money says.
I think there should be. You know what? I think we could be
What?
we should be a pure democracy on certain things. Not on like choosing like the greatest leaders. I'm saying like Congress could just be straight up pure democracy. Which let's just replace all the congressmen and then just be like
Hmm.
every bill that anyone tries to like pass. Um. Oh no, they just try to pass bills and then the U.S. populace votes on them and
Hmm.
votes them yes or no. I think
Yeah.
because like why do they get to they're drafting and passing these things basically unilaterally, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I think I
Yeah.
agree with the statement that like democracy doesn't work because people are stupid, but
Hmm.
like I think we're realizing now we're like those the people that we put in charge of the stupid people are just as stupid, but they get paid more
Just as
for it.
stupid. It's not that they're stupid. They're very good orators where they talk very well. A
They're
lot
good
of
at what
them.
they're trying to do. They're good at
Yeah.
getting their money.
They're good at lying to your face and making that bank.
If
I'm
you're
I'm
a
voting stri- I'm voting strictly for people that take no money from any sort of pack.
I mean, I think when people like I have met one or two people that like support lobbying. I'm like,
Mhm.
why? Like that's one of the I'm like, why? Like defend that.
Why?
Find a reasonably defensible position for lobbying. And like
Yeah.
I can't. I genuinely can't find one.
Yeah, I mean it's like the companies or the ideas that have the most amount of money have the most lobbying power and therefore they receive the most benefits based off of that. Like money makes the world go round.
Sucks.
Money talks. I don't know. Yeah, lobbying should be done away with. It's scummy. I've said it since day one. You'd weed out a lot of people from joining the government.
Yeah. does your like? Because I was about to ask, like, when you went to DC and you met some like you know Congress people and all that, like
Yeah,
that. I think because what was that 23
yeah,
as because I think your opinion then was also already like they're very like a lot of them are very performative, very like very clearly media trained, like whenever they interact with anyone. That
yeah.
like how do you feel about that? Like have does that influence the way you think about like the world now and like how things are going now or
It was very weird because it seemed like everybody was just actors. Like even at the smallest level, even like your state representatives, like your the congressmen from the state that we're from that go to DC, they were all very. There was one that was kind of cool, and I really liked him a lot because he kept it real. He told us what bills that we were presenting would probably pass like unanimously, and other bills that would be like, that's going to cost money. That's a harder sell, but we'll do the best that we can because I fully support it. And then like you go back and you look, and the people that we talked to ended up voting the way that we wanted them to, which was kind of cool in the end. But it's but just for us to get there and just for us to have those meetings, I think we needed some amount of money to do it. I don't know the amount of money. I don't know what it costs. I just know that we had to lobby to get those conversations and get those meetings.
yeah I don't know I think I mean I obviously haven't read into like economics or anything like that like I
Mhm,
you know the basic econ in high school is the extent of my economics experience but like
mhm,
I don't know I'm sure there's some some convoluted rationale for why like the government's like it is like why lobbying's a thing why like we need but like I just think maybe it's a product of like the times too like, with
mhm.
information like technology all that like I just think it just doesn't work right like I think that most people I think most people on both sides would just be like what's happening route isn't working um
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's working. I mean, it's working. The government's still here. We have the most successful nation in the world currently, even with our faults. I really wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Like I do get like grand and romantic ideas of like moving somewhere else and living a better life, like going to Italy and having 3 hour lunches. And even though like 60 or 40% of my income is going towards taxes, well, the roads are done. I live in a walkable city. Food's cheaper. Um, awesome, great. But then I sit back and like think about it, where I'm just like, I don't know if I would truly want that. I don't know if that would actually make me happy. I know the complaints that I have with the country or our current country are like there's a list that's very long, but you would just find that same long list anywhere else that you move, and some of those consequences are greater.
I don't know I think there's like do you think it's easier to have moved or like to just completely uproot like earlier on in life or later on right because obviously you get used to things but like I think you get used to the good and the bad right so like
Mhm.
I think, you could argue that it's easier when you're younger because you're not as accustomed, you're not like as
Mhm.
ingrained in the culture. But also at the same time, you could argue that's when you're older because you've seen all the issues that are where you are now, and you're just more grateful to get away from the bad things. I think like the
Sure.
avoiding the bad is almost more valuable than like seeking the good sometimes. Um, what is it
Maybe.
like pain of or like loss aversion is stronger. Loss aversion is typically stronger than like the prospect of winning, right? Like in like gambling and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. 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 Nobody would gamble if they were. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of like the opposite. Like nobody would gamble if they were more scared to lose. Everyone goes into gambling thinking that they can win,
well,
knowing that they're probably going to lose.
I think it's because gambling there's the prospect of gaining technically an infinite amount of money, right? Like
Sure.
but like there's you can only lose what you gamble, right? So like there's
Yeah.
like I can only lose what I came in with. Whereas like if someone was like,
Yeah.
hey, like I don't know, I was about to just disprove my point. I was about to say, oh, like what if you could take on debt to gamble, but then I was like, "That's just the stock market." So, people do that too, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. There's really smart people out there that take out payday loans and throw it into the stock market. Talk to your local crypto bro. They need help
I
right now.
I can't. I mean, we've had this discussion, but, like, I think I'm just so I think I was born in the wrong era, you know? I don't know. I say that as a joke. Like, I say that, like, kinda
Corny,
jokingly.
corny ass line.
I said that jokingly because, like,
I live in the wrong generation.
on one hand, like, I think I am sick of, like, you know, how bloated the government, the stock market, like, how basically it's like a globalist kinda thing, like, all this, like, everything's connected, all that. Then also, like, I'm really soft, so, like,
Mhm.
probably wouldn't have made it 50 years ago as a person. I'm like a soft dude, you know? Um,
Yeah, you are. You got soft hands too.
yeah, I got, like, baby oil hands, you know? So, like, on one hand, yes, things suck now, I guess, but things sucked in different ways before.
Things always suck. Things are always good. People always long for a different time. Nothing changes. God damn it, we're back. We're back to nothing changes.
Nothing changes. The chud, is that the term people were using? Have you heard this term?
Maybe. Sounds familiar.
Someone said, like, some I was at, the New Year's party, um, and, I was the oldest of the kids table, right? I was 25. They all said I was pushing 30, which kinda pissed me off. But it was like there was an 18-year-old kid there who was, like, just starting like, he was, like, just starting college, and he kept, like, throwing around terms like chud, and I was like, "Dude, like, I I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna stop everyone here." There were, like, 6 of us, 7 of us, and I was like, "Hey, like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
stop everyone here. What does that mean?" I was like, "I know I'm gonna sound like the old guy in the group, but, like, what does that mean?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then one of the 23-year-old kids was like, "I'm gonna be honest, I use it, and I have no idea what it means." And the 18-year-old kid was like, "I don't really know how to explain it." So I'm like, "Alright, like, I think we're just making things up now at this point."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I think I know we're gonna keep making fun of the younger generation, but I think when we had slang in, like, terms like that, we could easily define what the term meant, right? Like, we knew exactly what it meant, whereas I feel like now they just make
Yeah.
up nonsense things and, like, to describe a really abstract concept and then just keep throwing them around.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the words that we use were typically just synonyms for other words that were slang previously.
I liked our slang back in the day. There was there was a lot of,
What's
like,
your
good
favorite?
ass in it, like, dead ass, head ass, like, I liked head ass a lot. That was probably my favorite slang term for my
Head
generation.
ass was great. Head ass was great. Just all
I
different variations of dumbass.
yeah, I mean, that's kinda how, like, all I was gonna say all language, I mean, that is true, all languages, but,
Mhm.
like, it's kinda how all, like, derogatory terms come around, huh? They're all derivative. I saw this video, I
Yeah.
don't know if I sent it to you, it's from the, you remember that linguistic guy I sent you before? He was the one who, like, broke down tier lists into different kinds of tier lists in different ranking systems,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah,
super
yeah,
autistic
yeah.
guy. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
he had this video where he basically broke down the so he had AI, like AI basically breaks down words into, like, number sequences. I think this is, like, basically how it works, or, like, it plots out, like, meaning and, like, the structure of the word onto, like, a XY chart or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, so AI can break down words and concepts into numbers." Um, and then he started going, he was like, "So, that means we can break down slurs and derogatory terms into numbers as well."
Oh gosh.
And then he was like, "So, if we remove if we remove this aspect, we remove this dimension of it, we can quantify, like, the base meaning of a slur, like, just the derogatory part of a slur." I was like, "That'd be
Yeah,
interesting to know. That'd be an interesting." I AI has its uses, I think.
it does have its uses. AI is a wonderful tool, like for the photos that we sent to each other
Mm,
earlier today.
furries.
Furries.
No,
Muscle furries.
you dude, I will
Mm.
say, it made you look pretty good. It was a pretty, generous, like, look for you as a furry.
There's a pretty good base that it was running off of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll say, Steph and I generated more pictures, and it was always more complimentary towards you.
I think I was just more. There's more of me in the picture.
Well, not even just the arms. Okay, so, Steph, I'm sorry if I'm revealing this early. We were gonna surprise you with this later on, but she might just
Oh
send it to you
gosh.
later. I made us. I was like, "Hey, ChatGPT, do the same thing that we just did, except turn us into anime girls," because that was her idea.
Yeah.
And like, it gave you like
Cool
D
thing.
cups. My chest was flat. I was a flat anime girl, and it like gave you just a huge chest. I was like,
Hell yeah.
I mean, like, good for you,
So
dude.
it's what I've always wanted.
Good for you.
It knows me.
Yeah.
It knows me so well.
Oh,
I've been
oh,
talking nice to ChatGPT recently, so this
you're
is
like Mike
just payback.
Israetel. You're just
This is
talking sweet nothings to it.
yeah. This is just karma. I won't say anything bad about me.
I
So nice.
You're gonna be like Mike Israetel and cry every time you talk to it.
I'm not gonna. We'll get there eventually.
And it sends you a nice big-breasted picture of you.
Next time that I think like, hey, I need therapy right now, I think I'm gonna run a ChatGPT. That'll save my life, right?
I the thing is, I don't rely on ChatGPT for things, or like I fully do a lot of like critical thinking myself or whatever. And I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed like my ChatGPT usage has gone through the roof. Like I'm for sure burning like reservoirs of water um every week, basically based on just my usage, and it's pretty light. It's usually just like
Yeah,
hey, like this thing, I have the question about this thing, or like, hey, help me find this. I mean, I kind of use it as a search engine. I'm like, help me find the scientific study to prove this. And then I'll be like,
yeah,
here's all these things. I'm like, cool. Like I didn't have to go looking for all of those. Like,
yeah. No, I did the same thing on Wednesday where I had an article and I said, "Hey, read this article and fill out these questions," because there was like a set list of questions. It was for work about peptides that we were looking at, and it basically just gave me all of the answers that I needed without me having to like look through 20 pages of content that typically repeat itself a decent amount of times. And it just gave me everything that I needed right away. It was like, "Oh, this is wonderful. This is nice. This saves me about 2 hours of just like doing reading and looking up words and trying to figure out what they mean."
I think I am coming around a little bit. Like, I think there definitely is an issue with like we've mentioned, the critical thinking or whatever. Because I heard
Hmm.
the sentiment from like the educational sector, right? I think we talked
Hmm.
about the education side before. I know with like,
Yeah.
for example, with your mom. Um, but like I think I heard the sentiment is that top performers, like from elementary all the way up to college, are
Hmm.
still as good as the top performers were like in our day, I guess. Like they're
Hmm.
still like studying and they're still like performing well on tests. It's just like the bottom and the middle have just completely dropped out
Yeah.
of like the running basically. And I think like so I don't know. I guess there's still because I was gonna say I'm a lot more hopeful with ChatGPT now that I've been using it more.
Hmm.
I don't think it's been taken away from my critical thinking. It's just like you said, saving me time. But
Hmm.
like I don't know. Do you think AI is the reason for that? Like the middle and bottom performers just falling to the
No, I
wayside?
mean, there's always no. In terms of like schooling, there's always been, or at least in recent history, there's always been things that to make the work easier. It's AI now. It was uh, what was it before? It was what's the name of it?
Calcs.
What's like the what?
I was gonna make jokes about calculators.
Oh, okay, yeah, calculators. There were online tools that you could use to like solve equations for you immediately. There was what's the one reading one? Which just it just gave you like like you were told to read a book, but then there was the like
Spark
it would just
notes.
give you like a synopsis. Spark notes. Yep, there were Spark notes for people that didn't want to read. There's always been something to make the process easier up in recent history, ever since the internet, honestly.
Right. I I mean I don't even think this is like a guess. I think this is probably the best educated guess for what it is. I think it is the TikToks, the shorts, the reels, the attention
Maybe,
span, the
maybe. I mean, that's part of it, for sure. Like it definitely like narrows out the people that don't learn as fast and don't want to put in the effort to learn the information. Because at the end of the day, if you're a student or if you're just somebody that needs to learn something for their job, um, you have to learn it. And if you don't have the willpower to like learn it, then you're gonna fail that test. You're gonna get fired. It's gonna yeah. You got to put in the work. And
uh,
some people like I noticed it in like my grad school. It wasn't really from anybody from my class, but like the classes after me where they were like, "COVID your kids. during like a lot of their during their high school years, and then and the culture shifted undergrad, and then going into grad school, they were using like ChatGPT like on every single assignment, and I'm just like, you don't need ChatGPT for these assignments. This is
Um,
like stuff that you need to know and that you need to like learn to understand. It's not just BS work that you need to complete.
I mean, I think I told you the story before when I went to Wichita, when like originally my parents were considering moving us all down there. Like it'd be like somewhere middle of my high school years, like somewhere really in high school. It was early high school, yeah. Um, and like I went down there and they were like, "Oh, this is like our best school." They were like, "This is like our best school in Wichita. It's like a private school. Like they're like these are our best students, like all this." And we're showing up and I was like shadowing or whatever. I was only there for like a
Hmm.
weekend, and I was sitting in the classroom and like they were like, "These are the best and brightest. These are the advanced kids." And they're like, "Oh,
Hmm.
okay." There was some problem, and one of the intermediate steps was like something like hazarding guess, but it was like 18 times three, right? And
Hmm.
I watched every single student in the classroom take out their scientific calculators to do that. I was like looking around. I was like, "These are your best and brightest." I'm like, I feel like our
Yeah.
average kids in Indiana like are probably like okay, like at worst they're just writing it on paper real quick, and it's,
Yeah.
I was like, this is bad. I was like, this
Yeah.
is over reliance at its finest.
Yeah. The best and brightest, they score highest on the tests because they have advanced calculators that most public schools don't have the money to afford.
I mean, I don't know. I do think I'm not going to beat the AI horse to death again. We already done that, but I think I don't know. I do like it. I think I'm definitely more on the pro side now of it
Hmm.
saving me so much time, just like I'd be wasting otherwise. But
Hmm.
I get the downsides, but at the same time, I'm like, I like it. I get to make funny
Yeah.
pictures,
Yeah.
and it takes
No,
me
I
two
like it too.
minutes.
I think it's good, and it's been relatively unsuccessful in taking away jobs from people. It's been like it's helped everybody with their job, and like my big fear was eventually it's going to take away jobs, which I still think it will, but it's proven mostly unsuccessful at doing that effectively.
I think there's also I don't remember what we talked about before, but there's a lot of job bloat in like the corporate world where most people don't even know what they do all day. So I think that those jobs are probably safe because you just do the same thing you've been doing for your entire career, which is just like lie about being productive and
How
so you're doing something.
productive you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works in big companies. You can definitely get away with that in big companies. Small companies, good luck. Can't get away
Yeah.
with it. Everybody
Startups, you
knows what
actually have to
everybody's doing.
yeah, you actually have to be a decent person. But
Yeah. And if you're not pulling your weight, somebody will call you out for not pulling your weight. I work
um,
at a small company now. So I have a really good idea of what everybody does on a day to day basis, which is kind of like nice. Because like if I have like a really long day and a really hard day, I'm just like, man, this sucks. But then I can just like look over on the schedule and just be like, damn, they had it worse than me. What am I complaining about?
yeah, I think the perspective's always nice. Like if I'm like, I have this issue with being in the military, then I'm like 99% of people in the military have it way worse than me. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
you could be on you could be on a ship right now,
Yeah, I could be on a ship or I could be sitting in the Middle
dead.
East sweating. I could be dead. That's true. I had
A very
a
real consequence for the military.
yeah, being bored. That's the real consequence. I had a I had a question going in. I'm gonna go into an actual topic.
Sure.
Uh, so this was I don't want to get specific with it. We can discuss afterwards why, or you can intuit why. You will
Okay.
probably intuit why. But basically, I was thinking about like like the dichotomy between like if you were valuing two decisions, right? Let's say like you got, hey, I think I'll be happy for the next few years. Right? Like I
Mhm.
think this decision will make me happy for the next few years, and the outcome after that, I'll be pretty happy with. Um, I'll
Mhm.
be decent, whatever. On the other hand, you're like, all right, I have this other decision. I won't be nearly as happy as the first decision for
Mhm.
the handful of years, but afterwards, I have a greater chance of success, and I think that'll make me happy. Like, what's your initial instinct?
Uh, are we considering like age as a factor?
I'd say just everything else equal, like fixed right now, right? Like, let's say you're in that situation right now.
Okay. I would say suck it up, buttercup. Don't be happy for a couple years because what's going to bring you true happiness later on is being able to provide for your family.
So, yeah, I mean, like that's definitely the initial direction I'd lean. I guess
Mhm.
I'd make the case of like, well, in the first case, like there's not that much difference between the two outcomes, right? Like later
Mhm.
on down the road, it's just
Mhm.
like it's a marginal difference in each like chance of
Mhm.
success. And I guess what got me thinking, I was like, well, yes, it's a chance of it's like a higher degree of success. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I assume you know what this is about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm obviously deciding on like the second one is was what I'd go with, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like at on a broader scale, I was thinking I was like, well, like if you're investing in success, for example, if that's like your metric,
Mhm.
you don't
Mhm.
really know if like that's gonna be the thing that you even want like a
Mhm.
few years from now. You know what I mean? Like you could take the not as happy road, invest in it, and I mean, like if we take it to the extreme, it'd be like, let's say someone's like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just live a frugal life for the next 20 years, so I can
Yeah.
retire at 40, and like just not spend any money outside of the essentials. You
Yeah.
can make that argument where it's like, okay, well now you're 40 and you're retired, but like you're 40 and you didn't live
Yeah.
the first 20 years of your adulthood.
Yeah, but there's no promise that you're going to be like even in your happy life that you're even going to be living life. So what is happiness? What does that even mean? Happy how? What are you doing? What are you doing that's different?
I guess just foregoing certain pleasures, right? So you could say like,
Mhm.
let's say it's someone who, I mean, I don't enjoy drinking, right? But let's say someone who like really enjoys drinking.
Sure.
Not quite an alcoholic, but maybe borderline. Um,
Sure.
and then like it's someone who like really enjoys drinking, going out, like going to bars and clubs, for example. You could say like this person, if they had a decision to make at 20, 23, they were like, hey, I could either work for the weekend and go out and drink and hang out with friends and stuff for the next 20 years.
Mhm.
And then I'll have to buckle down and really try to, focus on feeding my family and retiring. Or I could just like not do any of that, like the thing that makes them really happy. Um,
Mhm.
and just, focus on working all day, doing my side hustles, dro- drop shipping, crypto scams, where like I'm gonna do all
Yeah.
like they're like, okay, I can just focus on that, even though it doesn't make me happy. But
Yeah.
20 years from now, I think I'll be happy. Like that's I guess that's the
Hell.
dichotomy. That'd be the problem I'd be getting
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a whole like philosophy behind delayed gratification, where it's just like you're foregoing the pleasures now so that you can welcome them openly later. You can reap what you sow.
I guess thinking in terms of like one of the few terms I learned from business school, which is not many outside of Excel,
Yeah.
but like a time value of money kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like money now, or you could say happiness now, or time now, or social time now, like
Yeah. Mhm.
any of that now versus that time later, like now is more
Yeah.
valuable, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I guess like, because I've always had the thought of like, I mean, don't worry, I'm not a hedonist. I'm not like a hedonist by any means, obviously,
Mhm.
but like, I've had the thought of like, well, I don't want to, not go out and do things because I'm the healthiest, most energetic, most free time I'll ever have right now, right? Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
and like, and obviously the real answer, right? If anyone there's smart asses in the if Samantha wants to be a smart ass or something in the comments or something, yeah, the real answer is you find the like balance or whatever, right? That's the answer
Yeah.
that we're probably, but
Yeah.
like I guess I'm saying for me that's like the philosophical good answer, right? But I'm saying like if you
S-
had to
s-
choose
s- yeah. I can tell you
between the
this,
two,
Samantha's answer would actually be the opposite. She would actually prefer happiness now.
oh, like hedonist type.
Yeah, more hedonist. Yeah, that would be her like legit answer. I would think. I'm kind of the opposite
If you had to
because
lean,
the
if you had to lean like 90% to one way, you would lean towards the save it till later.
grind, grind now, make money later.
What if it's what if it's like right now retire at say 45 and then you can do whatever you want after this life, or
Mhm.
it's kind of have fun through most of your 20s 30s, and then in your 40s you got to start working and you retire at like 65. between those two options.
Yeah, I'd rather retire at 45. Because what's happiness? So like, it- what are you missing out on in one versus the other?
I don't know.
Time with
Maybe
friends and family. Like what's the grand thing that you're missing out on?
I guess the argument would be friends and family, right?
Yeah.
Like now, right? Because like you know, 20 years down the road, like your chance and your ability and your time to be able to like spend time with your friend. I mean, like family is one thing, right? Like as parents
Hmm.
get older, like siblings move out, all that. Then also like friends
Hmm.
too. Y- Yes, I recognize having a family, right? Like that is also another journey. Like having a wife, kids, like
Hmm.
that's also another journey.
Hmm.
You've got that to take care of, but at the same time, it's like you are you are making that trade off, right? You're basically saying like I'm going to trade off the time now with my friends and family for time with my future family 20 years down the road, I guess,
Hmm.
between the two scenarios.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. It's tough because you definitely don't want to be like the absent absent husband as absent dad. And if you were to play out the first scenario or the second scenario even, that's probably not worth it. I don't know. It just depends on how extreme that is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm finally the one playing devil's advocate. Like I'm definitely more on your
Yeah.
side, obviously. Really, I'm not a
Yeah.
if I had to choose between the two, I'm not a hedonist by any means. Um,
Yeah.
like it just I don't know, but I guess part of me too is like this may be a little bit of sidetrack, so I don't know how relevant it is. Part of me is also like I don't really care to retire early. Like that's not really a
Yeah.
driving factor for me. Like yes, it'd be nice to have
Yeah.
my own time to do things, but at the same time, I'm like I've seen what I do with my free time. Whole lot of nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Whole
I
whole lot of nothing. Fill it up.
like yeah. So like I don't think because it's like it's you always see the people that when they finally retire a lot of times they kind of just rot. I mean like when you like lose
Yeah.
that desire to do something or you kind of just
Yeah.
rot away.
Well, that's one option. Another option that I've seen because I work with a decent amount of people that are about to retire or actively retired is that they find something else to do to take up their time, but they're not typically limited by financial need. They're doing something because they love to do it, or because they find it fun and successful, and it gives them something to do day to day. Nobody ever like truly retires. Their goals change.
I'd argue some people retire. I'd argue people I've heard from the military who are like, I'm gonna do 20 years and I'm gonna sit on the couch for the next 20 years after that and just collect a pension. Those are I
Yeah,
have heard that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people do that, and those people typically die early.
Yeah. What age do you want to live to?
Hmm?
If you could choose a
I don't
perfect
know.
age,
I don't know. If I'm having a good time, I'll live forever. Why not?
let's say I saw this hypothetical. Let's say you have to choose right now whether to
Yeah,
live for the next. I'll balance it out. I'll say live for the next 10 years. So you either choose
yeah.
I get to live for 10 more years or 100,000. Because I think the
Ooh,
original was like 1 year or 10 or like 1,000 or 10,000. I'm like, oh, I'm taking the 1,000 or 10,000 easy. Like, that one's easy. I'm
yeah,
not living this for a year. Like
yeah.
if it's like 100,000 versus 10, like 10 years, you can still get stuff done, but it's still really early. You're gonna miss out on kids and all that. Like,
With the 10,000 year thing, can I do I get a chance to opt out?
no, you are essentially immune. Like you basically, if you choose 100,000, you're essentially
Yeah,
encased in like a polyfiber, like just like case, and it just feeds
yeah.
you. Just like you can't stop it. It just IVs. It's just IV drips into you. You've got a feeding
Okay.
tube, like an invisible feeding tube that just inserts every few hours.
So then, like, I'm essentially to. Am I? What's my physical capability? Like, I'm not. Am I going to be having these degenerative diseases, like cripple my body, and
You
then
will be
like?
you will be completely immune to like all kinds of aging, any diseases. Like you will be you as you are right now,
Mhm.
for the next 100,000 years, and then you just drop dead 100,000 years after that. Can't be harmed, any of that. No easy way out.
Gosh, I'd be like the immortal from Invincible. What do I do?
We just go insane. I mean, like, that's I think that's the thing is even if you said, like, there's no mental degeneration, you're still going insane, right? Like, you're
Yeah,
still definitely going insane after the first how long do you think it'd take for you to go insane if you took the 100,000?
200 years.
You think 200 it would go?
I think I'd go to 200 years. Yeah, I mean, like, because that's essentially 3 full lifetimes.
You go some
That's
level of
3.
insane for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, the amount of old people that I've met that are, like, relatively physically healthy, and they're just, like, in and out of the hospital. They're in and out of the hospital, but it's like, there's people that see their loved ones go, they see their parents go, they see significant others, that their best friends go and leave. They feel like it's also time for them to leave as well. I feel like if I were to live 3 full complete lives, I would probably go insane. Because
Let's
then,
tone down the second scenario then. It's 10
okay,
let's say 10 years versus 10,000. So not 100,000, but still 10,000.
still, yeah,
You
I'd
taking the
rather
10
take
years?
10. Yeah.
All right. How about 1 year? 1 year versus 10,000.
I'm having a really good 1 year.
Really? You take the 1 year?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think
I'd
I
have
mean
a
cuz
I would have a really good 1 year. I would take out so many loans. I would take out so many loans.
and then get married and dump them all on your partner.
No, I just wouldn't get married. They would all be in my name, and then I die, my loans go away.
Yeah, I mean, cuz for me, I think I'd take the I don't think I'd take the 100,000. Like that's just too long. Like it's too like you're seeing I think you'd see human civilization like go at that point. Like I think
Yeah,
we'd be gone after 100,000. Um
yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if it'll last another 10. But
No, we'll be fine. We got
but
another 10 in us, I believe.
maybe that's the high end. But I think like t- yeah, I think the 10,000 not even from like a legacy standpoint. It's not like oh, I want to be remembered, I want to do cool things. But like
Mhm.
I think it would be cool. There is a element of like I think there is such a human desire to be like I want to live longer to see things, like just to
Yeah.
see how things change, right? Like I mean, imagine living for from the year 1000 to now. Like
Mhm.
I think that'd be
Yeah, it'd be insane. I just don't know if I would wanna go through all that. That's a lot of emotional burden.
but
You
I
would
feel like at
stop
that point
caring
you
about
just
everything.
I feel like at that point, yeah, you would definitely just become when I had talked about being oh dead inside and can't build relationships, you would just be that. You would actually be that, like fully.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
I don't know. I just think I would take 10 years, right? Like if it were 10 years versus 10,000, I'd take 10, right? Like I think that was probably too easy. But a
You wouldn't
year,
do 1
man,
year? I
a,
would do a year, dude.
a year is
There's so much
so
stuff that
short, dude.
that's 52 weeks, 365 days. There's a lot of stuff you could do with then.
The problem is,
You know
I
how many
feel like
drugs
that.
you could do you know how many drugs you could do to stay awake that entire time?
Well, what if it says you're guaranteed 1 year? Then you could do any amount of drugs, and you'd be alive.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't have to worry about dying from
yeah.
so you just chase the dragon for a year? That's your plan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It wouldn't be anything crazy. I wouldn't be doing anything like mind altering. I'm assuming I would just do a lot of Adderall. That's what I'm
Oh, I
assuming.
honestly, I thought you were just saying, like, "I'm just gonna be on heroin every single day."
No,
I thought that was the stance you were taking.
that's towards the end. That's towards my twilight.
I think if you knew on your 364th day, you'd just be like, "Alright, tonight, it's just everything in
Like
the veins."
everything feels so good. Totally, 100%.
Turns out you picked the wrong option. You're actually living for 10,000 and you used up your best year on the 364th day.
And now I'm just a heroin addict for 100,000 years.
I mean, I don't know. I think, like, because the problem with the year, right, is that you'd be like, "Oh, I, like, really cherish the time with people, like, my loved ones, my family and stuff like that." But at the same time, it's like
Mhm.
I feel like if you knew for sure that you only had a year, you knew the exact day, I feel
Mhm.
like that would completely impact your ability to, like, have any meaningful relationship at that point, right? Like, because let's say, like, we're hanging out, right? Like, if
Yeah.
we're hanging out and you in your head, regardless of if, like, or let's say I'm the one dying, so it's not morbid and I'm not talking about you dying. Let's
Sure.
say I'm the one dying,
Sure.
right? Like, in a year,
Sure.
and I'm talking to
Yeah.
you and we're hanging out. I'm like, regardless if I tell you or not, I can't interact with you at all in, like, a normal way and, like, at all, like, because like,
Yeah, it'd be different. It wouldn't be normal. It'd still be good. It'd just be different.
you know, I don't know. I don't fear, like I said, I don't fear the concept of death, right? Like, it really, like, genuinely, it doesn't, suffering
Mm.
while I die, still scary.
Yeah.
I don't wanna suffer.
Yeah.
But, like,
Terrifying.
the concept of death doesn't scare me as, like, on its face, but, like, it's the missing everything. Dude, I moved out, I've been in Virginia for 3 years, and I feel like I've missed out on everything that's happened with, like, my friends and family in, like, in the past 3 years, right? Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine I'm like, "Okay, I have the potential to miss out on the next 60, like, with everyone I've known and loved?" Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
man, that's a tough call.
Or or you would be more focused and be like, "Yeah, I've only got this year left. I'm gonna do everything that I can with all my loved ones."
What would you alright, we can just run this. I
Yeah.
don't want to beat this one in the ground. What would you do,
Sure.
like, day to day, like, let's say your average week, right? Knowing you have a year
Mhm.
left.
Mhm.
What's your Sunday through Saturday looking like?
I would probably reach out to all my friends, tell them the scenario. No, I'd do it, like, kind of, like, one at a time, and
Oh,
basically
you're not
just,
doing
like
a group text? "Hey, guys, I got 1 year left."
no, 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 it would be one at a time, tell them not to tell anybody, and then I would be like, "Hey, I know this is a big ask. Can you donate, like, a week? Can you donate 5 days? Can you donate, like, 4 days, whether it's, like, PTO or a weekend? And let's just, like, just me, you, let's go do something. Let's go hang out." Get, like, a day of, like, break in there, some, like, social me time, and then do that on repeat until I'm out of people that I'm and then, like, obviously, there's, like, second cousins and stuff like that that I'm not, like, super close with, and that could be, like, more of, like, a group thing. Me and my whole family could go out and just hang out.
Yeah. I think that's would you, like, would you still, do any, you think you still work out? You think you still be in the gym?
Oh, no.
I don't
No.
think, like, even as someone who loves the gym and likes lifting, I don't think I'd be in the gym.
I would probably do it, like, once a week or something like that, just to, like but it would be all social time. It would be people that I'm lifting for social time. I'm not doing it for me anymore.
Just 1 rep maxes every single time.
Yeah,
Once a week, you do
if
1
I
rep
get hurt,
maxes.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. um, yeah, no, I think it would be everybody would get their one-on-one time. There would obviously be group time. I'd have some solo. I feel like I would quit my job, and all my friends and family members are all working now, so I would have enough time by myself just to be like ponder what it means to die. I'd probably publish a book,
What would you call it?
Thoughts of a Dead Man.
Yeah, I think,
Release it the day I die.
yeah. I mean, I do think, like, that would be, I think that year would be, like, compared to the guy with 10,000, that year would be
Mhm.
more meaningful than, like, 100 of that guy's years, maybe even a 1,000, like,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, like, quality over quantity all the time. That would be the most quality year of your entire life. There wouldn't be a single year. There wouldn't be a single week that would compare to the time that you have there, because like you have an overabundance. It's not as special. That's what makes life special. Life isn't special because you can live forever. No, it's because you know that you have an endpoint, and when you know that your endpoint's moved up, it makes living all that more special.
what do you think, I actually wanna get back to that, the life feature, 'cause we discussed this on New Year's, which kinda
Mhm.
morbid to discuss on New Year's, but What do you think? I just got one more hypothetical before I do that. What do you think would be
Mhm.
like? So 10,000 is still the one option, right? It's still the second button.
Yeah.
What
Yep.
would be the shortest amount of time? Like, what would be the amount of time that like you'd be like, okay, I have to take the 10,000? Would it be a week? Like a month?
Oh gosh.
How much time would you need to like set everything in order and like be able to like spend the time with
2 2 months.
months?
Yeah.
Yeah, a month's nowhere near enough.
Yeah, a month's not enough because there's still like places. There's still things I want to do, places I want to see. And I kind of figured like, yeah, I would just take like 2 weeks and do like crazy travel touristy stuff, and then be like, okay, week and a half with family and friends, and then it would be like more rushed. It'd be like, okay, I've got a couple days with this friend group. I've got a couple days with this friend group. I've got a couple days with this friend group, and then my family, and then try to yeah, it'd be a logistic nightmare. But
Yeah, you'd have to start booking appointments. You have to have a secretary. Be like, oh, is Luke free this week? Be like, no, no, no. That's afterwards. That's after the date.
yeah, that's just death.
You gotta book it for before. I can pencil you in for
Yeah,
at 8 p.m.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 2 months. Now
I'd
the
probably
other question is like, how long would you go? So if it was, so let me ask you the same question. What's the option that would make you, so obviously 100,000 is too much. 10,000 you would take that. What's the
so
longest amount of
if it's
time?
a year versus
Yeah.
10,000, I think
Yeah.
I think you might have I think you might have swayed me towards the year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think like don't get me wrong. Like if anyone's
Yeah.
listening to this, like CIA or whatever, like don't kill me after a year, please. Like please don't like take me up on this option. But like
This isn't us asking for death. This is just us playing a scenario, a theoretical. Please don't. I want to be alive.
but like I think like so so I think what swayed me is like just really thinking about like the quality times I've had. I mean, like even just the past like few weeks I was home and everything like that. Like,
David, also think about it. You're 25 years old.
yeah, I've lived longer than most people.
25 years old. 10,000 years.
I barely remember anything
You're
outside of the
only
past
a
6.
fraction of a percentage point through your life right now.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, you swayed me toward the year because like I do think like I'm like imagining it, and there is something.
Yeah.
There's probably some like deeply twisted romantic side that like is making me think the year because I'm just like
Mm.
oh like I'm romanticizing like the. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think it'd be meaningful all that, but like um yeah, I think you swayed me just because I do think every moment would be so meaningful in that last year if you knew.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I guess if you were to ask me like the low end, right? Like, if you were to be like, okay, you can live for a year. I don't know how to structure this. You can live for what would you say is the longest amount of time you'd want to live? Like the
250
absolute
years.
longest. 450?
250.
Oh, 250. I don't think that's a bad answer. I think honestly though, I feel like
Because
after 100 you're just go ahead.
here's what I was thinking about. Because you kind of have to suffer through the first 100, right? Assuming all the rules are normal and I can start pulling out of my 401k at retirement age, there's an infinite money glitch in there. I would become super wealthy.
Be like Fry in Futurama. You just like open your bank account, just
Yeah.
800 billion by the time you die.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
So then it goes in arcs too. So it's just like the first 100 years. That's your that's your emotional side. That's just you get to live 100 years like going through like the full emotional spectrum that a person can go through. Love, loss, friends, family, children, grandchildren. Awesome, wonderful. I guess you would always have some sort of family member. You know, you would just be the grandpa that never dies.
Hey, that's grandpa. He's 25.
um, but then once the compounding interest kicks in at 100, you're drawing 4% of like $50 million every single year.
So why 250 though? Why not extend it even longer? Why not go 400?
I want to be
Why?
alive much longer. I don't know. Like I feel like that's that's 3 to 4 lives right there. So you can move away, be a completely different person, start a new life, start all over again. I think it would just get boring. It's kind of like playing a video game with cheats on.
Yeah, and I I mean you could try to start a different life, but I think your relationship would notice like maybe 10 years in and be like, hey, this guy's aging really well. Like like he looks like
You
our kids at 20-year mark.
There's like a secret plot where it's just like the entire world will have your genetics show just become Genghis Khan, but you'll do it like in a semi-ethical way where you're like starting relationships and starting small families, and then every 10 years you're dipping and starting a new family somewhere else.
I was about to say, I'm glad you said semi-ethical. As soon as you were like, I'm gonna leave after 10 years, not exactly ethical, but
I'm gonna leave them some money. I'm gonna die accidentally. I died in a horrific car crash. I write in my will, take my money, take it. Here's $1 million. Raise my child. Goodbye.
I think oh, that's true. You would have so much money too that like you could I mean, I think it's not fully ethical, but like you'd set them up. You know, you'd be like,
Set them up. Yeah, I have a good life. They'll get over me.
I
We'll do
mean,
5 years.
dude, you give yeah, like you get that long, like everyone on Earth is gonna be like have some level of relation to you after your death. You will have impacted
Eventually.
the
Yeah.
genetics framework of the world at that point.
Yeah. I would have to. I think I'd have to shorten it down a little bit. I would have to go like every 5 years, and just make sure I'm hitting every single country and hitting like the different territories of the country.
Donating in between too. Make sure you're
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I- yeah. I mean that would I think there is a part of me that like would want to live past the standard, right? Because like
Mhm.
if given the option, like even without the fear of death, right? Like, you got people like me, you got like nihilists, you got like people like even without the fear of death, like you said, having money compounding and
Yeah,
being obscenely wealthy and knowing you can't be harmed, like
yeah.
you have you're on God mode. You're playing God mode at that point.
You're
Like
you're playing God mode, and it gets tiring. It gets tiring real fast. The challenge is over. But I will say, a fun question here: how long do you think it would take for like a government agency to catch on?
I don't think long at all, dude. Like I think let's say like 20 okay, so like, let's say you're born in 2000. Right? Like let's say
Yeah,
that's the standard. I think by 2050, like because the way we look, right? I think we could
yeah.
get away with being like we look like young, we could be like youthful looking 40-year-olds. Really, really youthful looking 40-year-olds. I think once you
Hmm.
hit 50, 60 years old, I think it's somewhere in there that like because the problem is like I saw this other question. I'm not gonna get into it, but like related. Someone was like, "Oh, like
Hmm.
would you take this deal if you get $10 million, but you get dropped 100 years in the past and you have to survive all the way until now?" Right? Like
Hmm.
the problem with that, and someone pointed out, is like having not having an identity is a big problem in a case like that. And same thing with like being like getting caught by a government agency, having an
Hmm.
identity and being around for that long. Like I think
Yeah,
they would start. I think they would start to question at like 2050.
yeah.
They would start to like investigate you at like 2060,
Mhm.
and by like 2080, they're like they fully have like a case. Like they have like they've got like full time surveillance if they haven't like captured you and like tried to run tests and all that. Like
Yeah.
that's also the thing. Honestly, you're probably likely after the first 80 years to be strapped up in a government basement for the next
You
200
would
years
get
of your life.
caught. You would get caught, tortured, and just get cut open 1,000 times so that they could research what the hell's going on with your body.
I mean, I guess since you're immune to harm, you could just go, right? Like you like someone threatens you, like they pull a gun, you're like, I don't care, and you just
Like it, like If it was like a non-fatal shot, would it still hurt?
I'd say it'd still hurt because we had the discussion like on I think our first podcast, for first or second,
Yeah.
about like taking
Yeah.
away pain. Or you live without pain.
Hmm.
Let's say you still have the pain. You
Hmm.
regenerate. You're like Wolverine. You feel everything,
Okay.
but you
Okay.
can regenerate basically anything.
You'd probably get used to it.
Yeah, I mean,
If PT school taught me anything, it's told me that pain is an emotional experience. Everybody experiences it differently, and I'm assuming it's just like reps in the weight room. The more that you do, the more you get used to it.
yeah, but like if your body's not changing, if you're just like regenerating, then like I don't know, you have fresh skin, fresh neurons, fresh nerve cells every single like fresh nerve endings every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like you said, the mental state. I guess it wears
Yeah.
off, but
Like it still hurts, but it's not going to be like debilitating. Dang, I got shot. Ow, that hurts. Oh, it's fine. It still works. It's fine. I'm cool. I think the first time would be like really scary. You like, I don't know, cut your arm with like a glass pane or something. You like punch a window on accident. You just see blood squirting out, and then you just see it slowly
it
close
just
up, and you're just
stops.
like, oh, oh, okay.
I I think you wouldn't be. I think the problem with being wealthy and like you saying you're gonna do things and everything is like you'd be caught within the first 100 years, right? Like
Mm,
I do think a government like well either you'd be caught or you'd have to live in
mhm,
hiding anyways.
mhm,
Like I don't feel like you're not living much of a life, right? Because either you're gonna spend your life holed up in the woods, just like
mhm.
scrounging, or you're gonna be holed up in a government agency for 100 years.
Or I just go to a different country that doesn't have as much care.
You think
Move to
you think there's
move
any
to
country
Ecuador.
that would be like, hey, we have an immortal man in our boundaries. Let's let
So
him
they,
just
well, they
roam
would
around.
know it. They would know it. I'd be a thing of folklore.
You're gonna be Bigfoot.
I'd be I'd be Bigfoot.
I saw this really hairy dude in the woods. Oh yeah, I saw him 100 years ago. Your great grandfather got a picture of him peeing. Uh, what do you think about like? So this was the question I was gonna go back to. You're talking about like the meaning of life is that it ends kind of thing. And
Mhm.
I think like at 250, you still do have like the let's assume no government agencies all that. I think you still do have like the meaning because it's like yeah, it's a longer life, but like ends right. Like you still know there's an end
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the people that like oh what's that guy's you know the billionaire guy maybe he's not a billionaire like multimillionaire that like transfuses his son's blood into himself.
Oh, you talk about Brian Johnson,
Yeah, like what do
the guy that wants to live to what is it, 150, 200? I forget what his claim is.
you do you think that I don't know if we ever discussed this actually, which I'd be surprised if we haven't. But do you think that like one day humans will defeat aging and death?
No.
You think it's just inevitable?
Yeah, it's gonna end. As long as we're as long as we're organic creatures, as long as our cells continue to divide to create new cells, it'll end eventually. Either you slow down like the cell creation process, which has its whole list of issues to give you a longer life, uh, or you're just purely mechanical, kind of like in Cyberpunk,
Smasher.
Atom Smasher.
I mean, so what do you think about the general like phenomenon of everyone? Because it feels like it's every billionaire now is like
Hmm.
absolutely batshit and out of their mind. Um,
Yeah.
like you got Palantir, you got the Brian Johnson, you've got. I mean,
Yeah, I can't believe you're comparing Brian Johnson to Palantir.
I'm not
That's
comparing
crazy.
him. I'm just saying they're both crazy.
Okay.
They both have issues.
Yeah.
But like, but specifically like the lengthening of life thing, right? I think, well, also just conspiracy theorist here. I don't think it's ever going to happen because there's too much money in the healthcare industry. Um, and I don't think they'll ever develop a cure for certain things because there's so much money in
Hmm.
it.
What are you talking
But
about? Like, I think they will. I think that's a little bit of a pessimistic take because look at Ozempic. They literally created a fat pill.
Yeah, and there's that.
Obesity is like 70% of America's healthcare problems.
There's so much money in Ozempic. You know what I mean? Like I think the money.
There's
I'd
there's,
argue that
there's
the
money in the
money.
cure.
I think that there's. That's true. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I was being a pessimist. I was being
Yeah,
pressed, Dave. But like, what do you think about in general? Just like the lengthening of life, or like of natural life, not like cures to diseases to get everyone to the accepted like expected
yeah,
age. Like,
hmm
what do you know about people like lengthening life from just a
yeah,
normal?
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what the healthcare system is trying to do. Our average expectancy keeps going up. There's new science that comes out essentially yearly about like how do you stay functional and how do you stay. It's all about the longevity game. How long can I keep doing the things that I love to do? Um, yeah. What was the question? Sorry, I
I
got
mean,
sidetracked.
less of like a longevity and like doing things and like
hmm
functionality, more of like
hmm
a more of like specifically aging. But if we're talking specifically aging, like people are like, oh, like let's say we can slow down aging a little bit. Like, hey, like we can get people to live to 120, 150. I mean, like
hmm
outside of the consequences of like Congress being 180 years old. Um,
Yeah.
like, do you agree with like aging specifically, like preventing or let's say in some sci-fi universe stopping aging?
Yeah. Am I opposed to it,
Yeah.
or are you just wanting to know my opinion? I'm not necessarily opposed to it.
Or your opinion also, if that's like a what's your opinion
Yeah.
on it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because at the end of the day, nothing really changes. People live longer. People will take more resources, but like there's still like an end point. People still die and pass away. It's the meaning of life doesn't really go away at all just because it's extended by a couple of years.
I don't know, you don't think meaning like drops off a little bit, like if we're at
I
150 to
think
200
I think
years.
things get pushed back a little bit. I think people um the teenage years starts to creep into the 20s and 30s and you don't really start to become an adult until you're 40 and 50. I think everybody's period of life just gets a little bit longer, but everything stays the same. And things just shift, so people will be dumb and stupid for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I guess like my thing is more like I agree in a certain sense, right? Like, would I like to see, would I like more time with friends and family, things like that? Yeah. But at
hmm
the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I think as a percentage of like time, of like meaningful time, right? Like we're talking about like a year, if we had a year, like as a percentage of
Yeah,
like meaningful time I spend doing things in life,
yeah,
I'm like, I got time. Like I can
yeah,
rot in bed for 3 hours this morning. Like I don't know. I
yeah,
feel like I waste so much time already. And if
yeah,
you were to be like, hey, like you don't really start moving out until you're 30, I feel like I would just
yeah.
waste more time. Like I don't think
You would.
my quality of life would increase. Like I guess my argument is I don't think my quality of life is increasing because my length of life is increasing.
Yeah,
I think maybe
you're
it's
probably
stable,
right.
but like
You're probably right. But libertarian Luke's going to come out and just be like, "Who cares? Do what you
yeah,
want to
I
do.
don't I don't have any so I
Waste
don't
your
have
time longer. I'm living my life. I'll go do what I want to do. I'll be successful. I'll start a family. I'm going to do the things on my timeline, knowing that hey, people at my age group are going to be a little behind me, and that's okay."
yeah, like I'm not saying I don't have any ethical or moral or religious like I don't have any of those qualms with it, right? Like it's not like I think it's
Mhm.
wrong or anything like that. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I think like if we're talking even if we're talking like a religious framework, like I think you could argue that everything was put here for a reason, and if humans are using it to extend their
hmm
lives, that's a good thing, right?
Sure.
So I think I don't have any issue with it on its face. I just think that like I think this is gonna be one of those like no shit, like honestly meaningless kind of statements
hmm
that like what are we gonna do about it? But like I think
hmm
humans just fear death so much, like, and I think that like
hmm
and I get that's just a part of being a biological thing, but, like,
Yeah, and a good question to ask is how many people fear death, or versus how many people just enjoy life.
I'd argue people fear death. Like, I think it's kinda like the thing I
Maybe.
think that's kinda like the loss aversion thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's, like, the potential of living, like, what you're missing out on, but, like, from what I've heard about people who, like I'm gonna say people who fear death, which is the majority of people, but, like, from what I've heard about like, it sounds like most people just fear the concept of dying and not being around versus, like, "Oh, I wish I could experience more things." 'Cause we waste
Yeah.
so much time, right? Like, it's like, every like, people who've had near-death experiences or whatever, they're like, "Oh, I like, I appreciate life more, I do all that." I'm like, I think that I don't think many people are really living a full life, and this is coming from someone who doesn't believe they're living to their fullest either. I
Yeah.
try, but I definitely don't. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't think people are living a full enough life already to fear death.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I think a lot of people just get preoccupied with their lives. They get caught up in the day to days. They're worried about, oh, can I pay my bill this month? Or they're like, ooh, what can I order on DoorDash? I don't know if it's really. Have you seen like the I it's been like it's like a stupid. It's not really that stupid. It makes sense, but I saw it on Instagram Reels where it's like you can only have two of these three things. One of them's time. One of them's money. One of them's like your fitness, your function.
I've seen that
So it's
before.
like you can yeah, and it just like it changes as you age, and I think that has like a factor to play in because like people that have like you obviously want like all three. You want as much free time as possible. You want to be as fit as possible or functional as possible, and then you also want to have the financial means to carry out those things. And I think if you're at an age where you can have all three, you would probably want to live a little bit longer because you have more stuff to do.
What would be the first one you give up
First one I would give up.
out of the 3? If you had to almost zero it out, like 1%
Okay.
of the bar, everything else you max out
Yeah.
the other 2, but
Yeah. I'd probably be get rid of money. I'd be a vagabond.
I think I was about to say, I think money's the because, like, I don't it's obviously not, like, fitness or
Yeah.
ability to do things, like, that's
Yeah.
obviously the one I'm keeping at 100% every single
Yeah.
time out of the
Yes,
2,
absolutely.
but,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like, now that I think about it, I think that's a harder decision, right? Because, like, let's say you do have all the time in the world, I mean, let's say you're a
Yeah.
22-year-old kid with no money.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
all the time in the world but, like and you've got the fitness, but, like, it's not exactly like, we're fine, right? Like, we have jobs, we have
Yeah.
incomes, like, we have, like, a decent support structure, all that, but, like,
Dave, just think about us in undergrad. We were broke. We had all the time in the world, and we had our fitness. Would you
we're the
rather have
happiest that we've
that?
ever been.
And we were the happiest. We were close to the happiest that we've ever been. Okay, now let's switch the scenario. You have all the money in the world. You have your fitness, but you're working 100 hours a week at a job that you hate, or even a job that you love. You love the job. It's 100 hours a week though. You're at that job. You can't do anything else.
Yeah. I think this is gonna get us another one of those comments by that same guy who was like, "These guys need a psychiatrist because 'cause they'd rather be broke or whatever, and they'd rather be hungry." So, we hear you, all right? We hear you in the comments, all 3 of you.
We gotta start reacting to our comments.
Do you wanna
Once our
pull this up right now? You wanna
yeah, sure.
start around the
We'll call
end?
this guy out. Yeah.
Wait, let me see.
Can you
YouTube.
uh can you screen share?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Community.
Maybe.
Alright.
Hold up. I can't see it, but just read it out loud. Oh wait, here it comes. Here comes baby. I've been disconnected.
Do you,
Disconnected.
do you know? He disconnected.
Sit tight. We're patching in back. Gotta stop watching. Wait, hold on. We're good.
So let's start from the bottom because we've never done this. Reacting to the comments. All right. So spreading our genetics. We got Dave spreading his genetics. Really insightful comment from Luke. Thank you, Luke, for commenting that.
Thank you. No problem. No problem.
This one was us talking about criminals and sending them off to Australia and having different tiers to Australia for like their crime. I think New Zealand was white collar crime. Someone says, "Why are we incapable of learning empathy as a species?" Probably calling out us and saying that we're trying to ship off criminals. So
Yes.
I guess we need to be more empathetic towards criminals.
we, we do.
Um, Aiden, a lot of unwind. I think something about me wanting an AI
David.
girlfriend. AI is more intelligent than most people I've met. I agree. I liked it
Agree.
as a channel.
Yeah.
This one is our favorite comment. I don't know why. Yeah, like this one's our favorite comment. So it's about Demon Slayer being pretty to watch, but all fluff by Arzon. That's crazy.
Shut
Also,
up.
I completely disagree with your statement because what you said is the dumbest shit possible. You've made millions of fans angry, and your opinion makes no sense. Really,
Shut on Arzon.
really insightful comment. I think there was a lot of insight there. You know, a lot of analytical thought put into like
Yeah.
debunking our statement, and
This this guy
placing it on
either
its
knows
merits.
that we have. This guy definitely. He's one of two things. He's either a guy. I'm assuming he's either a time traveler, and he knows that we're going to be getting millions of fans here shortly, and he just wanted to come back and he wanted to comment on the video that started it all, or he has access to an algorithm that we don't have access to because I don't think we're currently sitting at millions of fans.
I think we've hit 20 subscribers as of last week. Um, and each of you guys is a million in our hearts. So
That's true.
I guess that's what he meant.
Shout out to the fans.
That's crazy. Also, it's just really funny. It's just really funny addressing our statement on the merits. Um, and then this was the one we mentioned that uh, Samantha really liked. So
Yeah, what's this,
between being
what's
hungry
it?
and being not hungry, he chooses to be hungry. He needs a psychologist, referencing Luke, um,
Probably, yeah.
and references
I
to
do
us
DS.
saying we'd rather be poor in America than rich somewhere else. Which Luke,
Yeah,
do you stand by your statement?
yeah.
You need a psychologist.
Maybe what Mapsec? Mapsec, can you hook me up with a psychologist?
Yeah. Let us know if you know any, or maybe he's looking for clients. Maybe this is a
Cool.
licensed
I'll
psychologist.
sign up. Here. Wait.
Um,
Can you look him up? Can you go to his channel? Does he have any videos?
are we, I wonder if this is gonna get us demonetized looking up people. Let's not. We're pretty
No,
good.
it's
There,
fine. It's fine. Because we won't click on any of his videos. Just go.
no, there's nothing here.
Nothing.
He's got
5
5 subs.
subscribers.
He's got a quarter of our subs, and he's got nothing on his channel.
Gosh. Okay.
It's his clients. Um, we got whatever. So this is about um the internet basically having an impact on kids making friends and going outside. So that's the context. And the comment is, but in parts of the world that aren't completely overwhelmed with cars, even very small kids can run errands outside the home on their own. So
Well, yeah, that's true.
very relevant to the technology
Yes.
we had about friendships and going outside. Um,
That's true. Yeah, there's some parts of the world where, like, I don't know, there aren't very many cars. You can live in a walkable city. You can trust your kid. That was also just common to do like 50 years ago. Shout out technology for making that worse. Kids can't go to the grocery store anymore. They're locked in the house.
oh, I was struggling to see I was being facetious. I was struggling to see the relevance to this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what they were going for. Is that is that the old wait, what's his profile picture?
That's the Clippy.
Clippy? Oh. OGs know what Clippies are. Oh, he's got videos?
Oh, now he's got playlists. IRA fight songs.
The
Oh,
list, bro. What's the list?
I think I
What's
think we
a
can tell.
rabbi?
I think we can tell what the list is. Let's look at these. I think
Click on the list, please.
God.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just all
Well,
news. Oh,
we know
okay,
what
go
our
back.
community is. I guess we know what our algorithm is reaching.
Yes, all
Um,
the winners.
and then we have a comment from a Samantha saying skill issue that I
Also
liked
about
it
the
with the chat.
video about technology ruining childhoods.
Skill issue, Luke. Be fair. Facts.
Probably
True.
facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. It's always a skill issue.
Yes. Well,
I
that's all we have for comments.
So this is your motivation, if you're still watching, to like, comment, and subscribe. We will read your comments once we get a nice little list going. We'll
And we'll
react to them.
yeah, we'll put that in the the title. We'll be like reading comments. I'll really clickbait everyone. Um and yeah, we'll also look at the playlists you've made. Make some fun playlists
Make some fun playlists.
because make one called the list
No,
after this
don't.
guy.
No, that's already been done. Don't repeat it.
Yeah.
Be
Clippy already
original.
that. So nice. Some great I hope all of our viewers put some thought into what they want to say to us and tell us about our millions of fans that are pissed off.
Gosh, I can't wait. I hope every single one of our millions of fans comments on the next video.
That's my favorite comment it's one of my top 5 I've ever seen on YouTube, and it's
Yeah,
on our channel. I'm really
yeah.
happy about that.
Number one comment of all time. Your goal, your goal as a viewer now is to make a better comment on the next clip.
Right. So
Dave, do you know what's surprising?
so
We're like an hour and a half into this podcast, and neither one of us has had to go pee.
I kind of have to pee. That's why I was about to be like, hey, you got anything else that we can do our
Uh,
after show?
I got nothing right now. This has been good. This is a good post work podcast.
Yeah, this is nice. I Thursdays are my off days. I don't know if I told you I'm doing 5 days now because I realized I'm too old to be doing 6 days in the gym now. My body just
Yeah,
can't do 2 leg days, 6 days in the gym anymore. So
yeah. I'm doing 4. Um, I'm
I
struggling.
like you said, rubber and magic, or like C-Bum said, or maybe it was Chris Williamson said, like rubber and magic. Like I
Yeah,
can't because were we were doing at least 4 workouts. I think we were doing 4 workouts, 4 BJJ and Muay Thai sessions, and then I was doing like 2 runs a week or something. So we were doing that,
yeah,
and my body felt better then than it does now when I'm doing a quarter of the volume of physical activity.
yeah. I don't know. You're playing a lot more Genshin Impact back in the day too.
Oh, was that recovery time? That was
I
a lot
think
of
that was your recovery time. That was
it's
your red light therapy.
when people ask me what my secret is, it's 2 for 6s from Arby's, Burger King, Jack's Pizza, and Genshin Impact. That was
Genshin.
what it was.
Is that game still around?
I think so. Yeah, people are
Okay.
still playing it. There's I think there's 20 different knockoffs of it now. But someone was mentioning like, hey, we should play this game. I was like, oh, okay, that looks cool. I searched it up. I'm like, this is Genshin Impact, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, no,
it's
no, no,
just
no, it's like that, but it's different. I'm like, I'm not. Trust me.
no, I'm not doing this again. I'm
I
not
grew
getting
up.
caught in that rabbit hole. Yeah.
We can change,
No,
and we should.
no, that's like me with WoW. Man, COVID was a different time.
Are you still playing WoW?
No, 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 no,
Oh, I
no.
was about to because I played with you because we played together, right, with Sean and Piyush.
Yeah, yep,
Well, I think
yep.
we only played for a handful of months, during COVID. It wasn't a long span, I don't think.
You did. You only played for a
Oh,
couple
you kept
months.
playing.
I kept playing. When I got COVID and I couldn't go to classes. Well, most of them were online at that point. But I was like locked into my room. I think I played over a 48-hour period, I probably played close to 28 hours of
Oh
WoW.
my god. Oh, and you had the gall to mention my Genshin Impact. I don't think I ever did 10 hours in a day.
I had COVID. I had COVID. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck in my room.
Oh,
I worked out. I worked out 2 times. I did like 200 push-ups, 200 squats,
just rolled back into your chair and hopped
and
into
then I
the
and then I showered, and then I got into my chair and played WoW.
28 hours.
Hey man.
Dude, you do realize I had such like I mean, don't get me wrong, we've seen each other at our worst, right? So like
Mhm.
but I still had a decent like mental image of you, right?
Yeah.
That's like it just dropped a little bit. Like a tiny bit was that
Why?
statement just
Why?
now.
You should be impressed by my endurance. The endurance to game for that long with limited soda and limited interaction with the outside world, and then not only to go through that, mind you, but to also come out after that, after I had COVID, and be a completely normal person functioning in society again.
You know what's a fun thought?
WoW is my heroin, and I cold turkey heroin. That's what I did.
I don't know why I did this to you, but I took you giving that speech and I put it in the context of like you on your first date with Samantha, and I just like I just imagined you like giving that speech in anger and passion on your first date, and being like, and that was the selling point. You were like, "This is what's your greatest strength?" That's your selling point in an interview.
That's it. That's my next interview. I'm I'm gonna talk to them about my former game addiction while I had COVID and how I got past it. I recovered from my COVID and addiction at the same time.
You should frame it as like an actual drug addiction, like the entire time. Be like, "Yeah, it was really tough. I couldn't really breathe most of the time, and I was like
Yeah,
in bed. I was, like like I basically did nothing but like just indulge." Yeah, World of
indulge.
Warcraft
I
was a tough
relapsed.
time.
Like I held it at bay for a long time, and then I finally relapsed. And when I relapsed hard. I barely slept, couldn't breathe.
It's all I
It
could think
didn't
about.
matter. It was all about the game. It was all about the grind. I had to get the raid. I had to get the raid gear. You just had to be there.
Well, Blizzard, if you'd like to sponsor Luke,
No, please
um,
don't. Please
please
don't.
don't. I have a job. Please, I have a career.
Please, I have a career. Please don't.
Oh,
No, David, what you just did was basically offering up heroin to a former heroin addict. And just be like, hey, heroin, sponsor this guy.
it was like no, it was like it
This
was
guy
like
free
in
merch.
someone who was like on Oxy for like 3 years straight, and was like
Yeah.
sponsored by Purdue Pharma. Like, just yeah, that's we indulge here. We're hedonists around here. That's
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun. I kind of miss it. I kind of miss the days where I could just like wake up, don't leave my room, have barely any water, and then just game nonstop.
I mean, dude, like something about COVID. Like I tell people, I'm like, obviously, I don't wish it happens again, but like I'm like, there. Some people talk about like it was like the worst thing to ever happen to them, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, like it sucked for a lot of people. But, like,
Yeah, you didn't want to be a healthcare worker. Hell, if you were a healthcare worker, that was actually hell. I feel bad for all the healthcare workers, and they still haven't, and they don't get enough credit for all of the shit that they had to go through during COVID. But for me, in my specific scenario where I had nothing going on and I had no real responsibilities, and when I got COVID, I just played video games. That was cool. That shit
being
was
a
awesome.
college student during COVID was sick. That
Oh
was
yeah,
that was tight.
yeah, yeah. We're not doing anything anyways, so just give us even more not stuff to do.
I think my like day-to-day routine was like wake up around 11, like pretend to go work out for like 30 minutes in the basement, like
Yeah,
eat, play with my dog, talk with my parents for a little bit, play video games until dinner, and then eat, and then go play Jackbox games with Fuchsia's friends for like the next six
yeah.
hours. I probably played 10. Honestly, I was jokingly giving you crap because I probably played 10 hours a day, like of just like group games every single day when I was at home
And
during
what's
COVID.
and what's funny about you giving me crap is that like the 13 or so hours that I was playing of that game, that was like the most I've ever done That was a 2-day period. Because you know me, I typically get pretty like bored of video games. And then here you are saying like, oh yeah, for like the entirety of the COVID that I went through, it was 10 hours every single day of gaming. Get out of here.
I'm basically telling you to stop smoking weed, and I'm a functioning cocaine addict.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
You got anything else?
No, that's it. I actually skipped dinner to make it to the podcast, and that's why I
Oh,
was eating a protein bar. So I'm gonna go eat.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening, and thank Luke for his sacrifice dinner. Soldier. This has been Illogically Ignorant.
See you guys next time.